my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Wait.
Everybody calm down!
Help!
Here,
Oh,
take my hand.
ah!
Come on. You're gonna fall unless you take my hand.
No, give me your other hand.
Oh, my other hand isn't strong enough. You take my little hand.
No, get it away from me!
Take it. Take my hand.
What the hell am I looking at? When does this happen in the movie?
Now. You're looking at now, sir. Everything that happens now is happening now.
What happened to then?
We passed then.
When?
Just now. We're at now.
Go back to then.
When?
Now.
Now?
Now.
I can't.
Why?
We missed it.
When?
Just now.
I hear the train a-comin'. It's rolling around the bend.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the train wreck. That will be me drawing alongside the esteemed Eric CANETE. Welcome to the show, Eric.
Oh, let's not do that. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I see how it is.
Rob, always great to have you as the co-host tonight. Don't look so. Yes, it is. I need you. You know I do. We'll also be joined here tonight by a good friend of mine, Mr. Camel Moon.
What's up, everybody? Sorry,
welcome, Camel.
Hey, man.
Welcome.
Hey, Camel.
Right.
Hello.
You sound
Hello,
a bit
Eric.
under the weather. Did you catch some Omicron?
No.
No.
Get the fuck out of here.
Have you two met before?
No, I don't.
We're looking right at each other.
No, I know.
Going now.
You're like, guys, you don't have to sit like that.
My great arch enemy. He doesn't know I exist.
Right? Eric Weathers says, place your bets. Eric, are you going to be sharing what you're drawing tonight? That's usually what we do. Awesome. I'm going to do that shortly as well. Before I do, I will say hello to the chat, everyone who joined us here. A big hello to Rob Liefeld. I don't know if you know this, Eric, but Rob Liefeld, Todd McFarlane, Stan Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Who else has been joining us in the chat lately? Now, we can't
Did you say
confirm
Stan
their
Lee?
identities. Stan Lee, yeah, he's been here a couple of times.
Right.
Yeah, we can't 100% confirm their identities, but we're running on the theory that it is them, the real people. Rob Liefeld says, "Hey, everybody, check out my new book, Replicators, on Indiegogo soon. I know Comicsgate will love it. Man, this is coming." All right, excellent. Thank you, Rob. Mo is here. How Mo Biggs? He says, "Great. Now there were two Robs." Is he calling me Rob compared to Eric? I think that's what he's doing. I think that's what he's saying there. We've got B-Rose in the house. Yes, we are drawing a bit tonight. A little bit. We'll see how I go. And great to have you in here, Reagan. We got Mrs. Good Stuff in the house. Stephen Rockwood is here. I see B-Rose is here. Scrolling down, there's Darren. He says justice for Mo. I don't know what that's about, but every day, of course. We've got Keely Chow, Nicholas Gear, Eric Weathers, Eloise Dawdle, Simon Simpotier. Always great to see Sim in here. I will say hello to 24 Eyes. The CG Metalsmith. Oh, it's Phoenix. Hello, Phoenix.
Where have you been if you don't know that's Phoenix?
Oh, I just read the start, and I'm like, the CG Metal. Oh, yeah, of course. I didn't read the end of his name. You know what it's like. What about says, welcome, everyone? Not tonight.
Ooh.
Not tonight. We've got Scotty Richards in the house. Camel looks like he's in 80s TV. Don't compliment him like that, Scotty Richards. Just get to his head.
That's what I want to hear.
Mike Murphy's here. D. Welcome, D. Great to have you here. Hey, I've had a really, as I like to say, cracking week of streams last week. Gained a ton of subs, got a lot more views than I normally do. In no small thanks to the appearances by Kelsey Shannon and Eric July and a no-show by Todd McFarlane. That's all right, you know. We put up
That
with
guy's so full of himself, though. You know,
too stuck up to join us here to slum with us. But if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. And notice that I am still getting a bunch of people who are watching that aren't subscribing. It would be much appreciated if you could, and give a like and all that sort of stuff. Share it out. Reagan says, going to be snagging Athena with my next paycheck at the end of the month. Love what Iconic Comics is putting out. It's I think your boy Zach said Iconic is now the gold standard to aspire to. That's what he said. So Iconic is what? You've got Athena now, Long Harbor,
you got
Carmen America, and
you got
Soul Finder. Is there anything else?
I think those are the ones that popped into mind.
Yep. And they're doing the whole thing that we've been talking about all this week. They've got the website, you know, I don't know, like you crowdfunded, obviously. Do all those guys crowdfund? Does Doug Ernst crowdfund, or does he just sell it?
No, I think he just I think he got quite sick of crowdfunding and he just let's just bring it onto the website. Tim still does. Right? He had a really successful one on Kickstarter and then everything else he does Indiegogo after. As a second chance.
If you don't enjoy crowdfunding, I wouldn't suggest doing it. It is a lot of work, the whole campaigning thing. I personally love it. I love it. But if you don't enjoy it,
I remember asking you before I pressed that, way before I pressed that go live button for this first one. I said, like, is this a lot of work? And you guys were like, yeah, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of fun too. And at the end of it, after the 30 days was over, I thought, like, well, the campaign is over. It's everything else. Everything else exhausts you.
That's when the work begins.
You know?
I like
crowdfunding. Work
begins. Do you?
Yeah, I like it as well. But, you know, it is a lot of work.
You guys are
but
good at
it's you know, some people like it, some people don't. So you don't have to like push people into it who aren't really into it. But because now there's so many more options now, we can chat about that as the conversation continues. Like with these drawing streams, it's not really a topic per se. It's just we'll just hang out and you know say whatever comes to mind. We've got Tobias in the house. You should have got the 2021 award for most underrated streamer. Me? Thank you, Tobias. I'll take it. He might be talking to Camel, and he might be talking to Eric.
Well,
no,
regardless of who he's talking to.
Oh, hello, I'm here too.
Regardless of who he's talking to, we know who he should be talking to.
Fucking hell.
Camel, I'm going to turn you just slightly down a little bit, because Eric is a soft speaker.
Okay.
And I think I turned Eric up, so I'm trying to equalize everyone.
Camel just whispers his way through the entire stream.
He has that moony voice. So this is the first time we have we've chatted since I think the launch party, and ever since then, lots happened since then. So you finished, fulfilled. The reviews came in. Everyone was raving about it. All the photos and everything, the art, the story, the product. That's the real fun bit. But now you're getting close to doing it all over again.
Yeah, man. I'm trying not to think about it. As we were about to go live in the green room back there, I'm getting pinged by the book designer because we found a handful more things that we could have optimized. And I'm asking him, hey, move this over, clean this up. He just said, one of these pages is registering gray. What do you want me to do? Like the gutters was registering just a tiny bit off. And what do I want him to do? And I'm like, you need to fix that, please, because it's very unprofessional. Yeah, one of the assistants found some pages that's light gray and not white. So there you go.
This sounds like pre-press stuff.
It is. And we're supposed to deliver all of this print ready to go to the printers by tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
So, yeah. And we get to do this, like 4 more times.
Yeah. But then at the end of it, you do something that I don't think many other people have done. Not that I know of in crowdfunding, at least. Not like this, anyway.
Yeah. I think, the closest one, and we kind of have a chuckle about it offline, is that Tim has like 5 volumes worth of this stuff for Common America, you know? So I've used his template, his playbook this entire time. And so that's why if there's any sort of, I don't know, seamlessness that happens with my campaigns or just the way I approach when to schedule stuff is because Tim handed over that secret sauce, you know?
He was like guiding you through it.
Yeah, 100%.
Leo Kuhn says Eric is giving me a huge erection on how he talked, bruh.
Oh yeah, he should totally start doing ASMR streams.
It's this brand new microphone, gents. I invested.
Are you sharing your screen too, Eric?
Should I? Oh, all right.
Yeah, share your screen. So here's how it goes, right? Rob will complain about my drawing and how slow I'm going and how it's not interesting. And then normally he would swap to Camel Moon and and there'd be a joke there. And now we get to swap to you, and it's like now we get to contrast and compare. And that's what the whole joke was. How in the thumbnail I said Eric CANETE and me, basically same but different.
So what is this, Mike? What are you drawing here?
This is
okay.
That's
enough of that answer.
Okay.
This is Eric's.
There you go. It's a box at the moment. Yes.
That's how we do it, Eric. That's how we do it, Eric.
I don't understand why I'm down at the bottom.
Where do you want to be?
Can you move these?
He's a drawer. He's a talent. He's a talent, Rob.
All right. Let's take this seriously, Mike. What is this? You're drawing a dude standing on a whole bunch of stairs.
This is he's walking out of something, and when I get to, you'll be able to see like he's going to be covered in something. So he's coming out of something. He's emerging from a thing, and it's going to be quite cool, I think.
Okay.
For anyone who's read The Lucent, they might enjoy the speculations on who this is and what he's doing and why he's doing it and all that sort of stuff.
What is your schedule looking like for this second one, Mike?
I've got about 60 pages done. I don't know the exact. I mean like drawn. But then Joe is also my art editor as well, so he has to go through all that and get out the red pen, So I haven't done that process yet, and I want to get, if not all of the line art done, as close as I possibly can.
Yeah.
Before going live.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like taking this pretty seriously and in a real drawing mode at the moment. I don't want to give out a firm date though, because that was the mistake I made last time. I'm not as good as you seasoned professionals. I don't know how long it takes me to do stuff.
You have no barometer. You're saying you just draw until it doesn't feel good anymore and you stop.
Well, I can never accurately guess how long it's going to take me to do something. And every time I try, I fail. However, this time I have a secret weapon, and that's my iPad Pro. The iPad Pro that I got. That it was partly you and John Malin who convinced me to get that.
John does work on the iPad too, eh?
I don't think he does, but I think he was talking about getting one. And so you've been raving about it, and then John was like, I really got to get an iPad Pro, and so I can take it places and. Look, the tool is the tool. Whatever, it's the ability to not necessarily be at the desk and draw, or just it is a different way of drawing when you draw directly onto a screen.
Yeah.
It has really improved my productivity. I'm getting things done way quicker than I've ever done before. So that's encouraging, but I'm still reticent to set a firm date or anything like that.
All right, we've got some questions and comments in chat. Mo says he's coming out of something. He's going to be covered in something. So we're back to Gilgamesh?
Not back to Gilgamesh, but on this main block thing he's coming out of, that will be covered in cuneiform, a link back to that iconography. It's all very exciting for me, but no, not Gilgamesh.
That went over your head, didn't it?
Who? What?
That whole comment from Mo. He's coming out of something. He's going to be covered in something.
Oh,
so we're back to Gilgamesh.
Yes, that
Mate.
did go over my head. I don't have a dirty mind when it comes to this sort of stuff.
Sumo says, has Joe ever just drawn a big red X through the whole page?
No, but he has gotten to pages and he's drawn a red circle around every single hand and foot on that page, and there were a number of them.
That's not true. Is that true?
Yes.
Do you have a picture?
I should actually scrounge those up. I don't know where they would be, and I was like, yeah, I get it. Because we weren't trying to redraw the book, but we just wanted to make sure that it lessened the opportunity for the reader to be just pulled out because they're stopping to go, whoa, what's going on with that claw?
It was that distracting. You would agree that when you saw the art, you'd say, hey, that's worth changing.
Yeah. Some of the faces as well. Some of the faces, because this is me starting out. So I'm like I was looking at other artists for influence, but you can't just like copy other artists. You've got to, sort of figure out how they do what they do and then learn how to do it yourself. And I don't think I was there at the time when I did it. And there was a mismatch of what I was doing. And I was thinking, the hands are kind of...
It was a mismatch because you were looking at other artists and didn't know how to do your interpretation of them, or?
Yeah, I was thinking, okay, these guys do a really loose, fast style with the hands, right? So I thought I'll just do a loose, fast style with the hands, not really understanding that there's a lot that go behind what they're doing, the form and the structure and the gestures and everything. So but my hands, they don't really have that. It was just a weird hand. So yeah, and then with other stuff, I was being more refined, and it kind of jumped out. It didn't really look that good. Reagan Lodge for $5 says, Eric, let's collab. You do hypnotic narration for close-up videos of me unboxing Funko Pops with my feet. We'll make a fortune. What do you say?
That's a market I hope to never discover, but there's got to be money in it.
There's got to be money in it. Yeah. Reagan is big on Twitch. He's got a bunch of followers on Twitch. He does pretty big streams. What were we going to say about Sumo?
He says, do you have the ginger root hand to show Eric?
No, I have. What do I have of that? I have like a pin, a magnet. What do I have?
Yeah. So he's saying that like the card that came with that magnet was the original ginger root hand,
and that was one that Joe had flagged.
One of many. So and that was me. That was me not only trying to be really kind of draw loosely without understanding what I was doing, but on top of that, foreshortening a strange angle of a hand, and it ended up looking like a ginger root. Scotty Richard says, hey Michael and Camel, what do you think about collaborating on a Comicsgate animation channel on Newgrounds? Do you guys know what Newgrounds is?
What is Newgrounds?
The site still has a good rep for free speech animation platform. Could be a new CG asset. I'm always up to things, but when it comes to animation, the issue is just, there's nothing that really takes me longer than...
I was going to say, isn't it pretty time-consuming
animation stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, because it requires so much time, to like commit to doing a big project. I'm always for that kind of stuff as long as I have the time to do it. If you tell me more about it and what it would entail, then I can get you a better answer.
What's the biggest, quote unquote, biggest project that you've ever taken on, Camel?
Oh, I mean, I've a million of them. When I was 30, No, not even. I was 27. I flew me and 10 people down to Miami, and we made a movie. We were there for 2 weeks shooting, and that was pretty
this is
big.
all animation?
That cost me what?
This was animation?
No, this is a live action feature. It was like a mix between Miami Vice and The Untouchables. And you know, we had sets, we had rented out, we had hotels, restaurants, pools, limos, we had car chases. I mean, it's a full hour feature. And so that took about $50,000 when I was 27, so that took a lot of time. And then, you know, the comic that I'm about to launch is a 12-issue, you know, Watchmen type style book, and 11 of the 12 issues are already done. So, I mean, I've been working on that for about 10 years.
Really?
Yeah. I did Hail Salad so people would know who I was before I launched my book. I didn't want to come out without people knowing who I was.
No one told me this. That's
just told you.
It's an evening full of surprises for you, Rob.
Yeah.
B Rose for $2. Cerebrum launching on the 22nd next month. Bow. We got Rini in the house. She's drawing and watching. Drawing page is great to see. Reagan's ducking out. Great to see you in the chat as always, Reagan. Mo says, I politely asked Bancroft to keep it down because I'm trying to read Mavericks, but apparently has no respect for his viewers. What can I say? What can I say?
He's talking. He's talking a lot.
Can anyone understand what D is asking here? He says, do you use source control system or asset management for versioning of the work you do?
That sounds like a lot of technical jargon that I don't know anything
Yeah,
about.
I'm sorry, D. I don't really understand that.
So, Eric, this is my girl, isn't it? This is hypersexual that you're drawing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the next book, I'm just going to start giving out like trading cards or put little like mini posters to say thank you very much. So there's a set of them now. I can show you. Like this is one. This is the other one.
Wicked.
All right. This is the one I just finished inking.
Oh, sick.
This is the other one.
Mike, you should pay attention to this.
Sorry.
So you can see how to draw.
And then, jeez Louise, that's harsh. That is rough. There you go.
This is how it is.
Awesome.
Eric's the real deal Holyfield. And what can I say? That's what I always say. I always feel like Eric's slumming it when he's hanging out here with us, but that's good.
All right. So Mike's drawing some dude walking out of something on some stairs. Eric's drawing hypersexual, and Camel Moon is doing.
Oh, these are the colors.
Hail Salad.
I finished this page the other day. Well, so these are just the flats, and then I'll go in and they'll look more like this.
Camel has his own way of doing comics.
What's the way?
Like you do the lines and then you do the rendering, like all in different goes.
Oh yeah, Eric, I'll show you.
How's that work?
It's the worst way ever. I'll say that. So what I do is, let's take this. I'll take a lot of this shit up. Let me get rid of. Okay, so first I do it like this, and then, well, actually, so it looks like that. Then I add the color, and then after that, I'll start doing my mezzotint fill, and then after all that, I call the hatch, which is just the inks, and I do that after. And if I do that after, then I can paint bucket the colors, which is a much speedier or expedited process. So, and it looks very graphic, but it prints really clean. And so it's, and like it's good for this type of style of comic because it's supposed to look kind of like a cartoon. I would never recommend it for anything like you're doing or something that is, very a little bit more artistic, I guess I would say. But for something like this, that's the same thing. So I just Oh, let's get rid of this. Get rid of this.
Where do you pull your influences from, Camel?
I
Don't no. Don't ask that question. Don't go into the mind of the cackler.
This is
that is
so in
this dark and
this
disturbing
is,
place.
Starts as a flashback. I'm not giving too much away here, and it's it's the troll village before the Great Depression, and it's Frege is going to be telling the story. It's a backstory, and it comes down here about like when the king and queen, that's them here, once a year they would have a big event where people would bring food from all around the world. So here's
don't give
Cecil,
away your
Anna.
story. I'm talking stylistically. Where are you pulling this
Oh,
from?
I don't know. I always feel like my style was like a mix between like Bruce Timm and Jack Kirby. I mean, that's kind of a crap answer, but they're very kind of simplistic and like how she's drawn.
Yeah.
And then like or here, I think you could see a lot of Bruce Timm in that. In the action scenes when they're all buffed up and fighting, it's much more Jack Kirby-esque.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
It's an Italian thing,
That's
right?
cool,
It's a
man.
Renaissance thing. You want to like create the whole story.
Sure. I'm into it.
Scotty Richard says, I'm thinking old stuff you've made that you'd want to contribute. Basically, we've been opening CG to a new crowd. Mostly gamers populate the site. Check it out. Art, animation, voice actors, etc.
I have old animation. Yeah, but there's only so much of it. That's kind of what I did on TikTok, and then I ran out of stuff, and now I have to think about what I'm going to do, going forward.
Are you encouraged or compelled to do more, Mike?
Definitely encouraged.
Yeah,
absolutely. The engagement on that site is crazy. If you hit the right note, it puts every other website to shame. I don't know how well it translates to anything, but there's a bunch of guys who have, they've done amazingly well that I know of. In a very short period of time. So people always call me during my streams. But I'm trying to think of something that I can do consistently.
Yeah.
That's how I managed to build a channel on YouTube, and that's what I think I need to do on TikTok. But figuring out how to do that that's the kind of $1 million question.
Rini says, I think TikTok is artificially inflated though, or so I've heard.
In what way? Also, Mike, when you say when you hit the right note, what do you mean by right note?
Like there's a certain thing that goes well on TikTok, a certain kind of video. Obviously, it's like short. Yeah, but you can be popular without that stuff. You can. There's Passion for Drawing does short drawings of popular characters. Other guys do how-to stuff, and the Cryptidnals they look at scary things that they've found on the internet.
Oh, cool.
And they're going quite well. Of course, the Dancing Hot Chicks does the best, but I'm not going to be doing any of that.
That's going to be my channel.
Yeah,
it's a missed opportunity, Mike. I would say.
I know.
Yeah. So, Mike, you've drawn some roby things.
This is like a goop. And I know what Mo's going to say about that.
Mate, you're opening yourself up.
I know.
There's a tone whenever you describe Mike's artwork that is not enthusiastic nor flattering, Rob.
You're telling me. You're telling me.
More of a slog, really.
His tone. I don't appreciate your tone, Rob.
Well, I give you tone, you gatekeep me, it all works out.
What is it? What does he do?
He's a gatekeeper. Won't let me on any shows.
That's true.
Do you believe it's
wonder
preventing
why.
you from broader success, Rob?
No, I think I'm holding myself back from broader success. It's not really something I can control.
Right. Mike's not helping, though, is what you're saying.
Of course, yeah. Mike never helps.
Could I help though?
Yeah, if you wanted
That's the
to.
question.
If you wanted to, sure you could, Mike.
You can't help Rob. No one can help Rob.
Everyone is loving your voice, Eric. RP says this dude Eric has a relaxing tone.
Aw, gross. But thank you.
Make a great like a psychologist. You know, you just come and tell him your
Like a-
troubles.
Like a Filipino Frasier.
Mo says,
Mo
you
say?
insult me, Bancroft. There's less low-hanging fruit in the sauna at George's retirement village.
Well, the stuff coming off him isn't water, right? It's got to be viscous. It's got to be gloopy.
It's the way you say that. It's a little off-putting when you say viscous that way.
What can I say? So I'm actually referencing. I'm looking at a old Swamp Thing cover, but that's water. But it's like swampy water. But yeah, we'll see how it turns out.
Oz says it's just Rob's face, personality, and intelligence holding him back.
What do you think of that, Rob?
Pretty accurate, actually.
Is it?
Yeah.
I like how Eric just asks questions. He just stirs the pot.
I know.
What do you mean by that?
Those are follow-up questions.
Let me kind of build the strife a little bit.
So how long have you been working on this, Eric, and how long will it take you to finish?
This image in specific.
Mm-hmm.
I started it, an hour and a half ago. And if I just force myself to not be distracted, then probably another hour and a half from now, I should be done. The inking part is the most mindless part of this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
What's great about Procreate is the built-in brushes, because it does a lot of the heavy lifting for me. Once I have an understanding of that light source and all the foreshortening, and I get that right, the inks does everything else. Or the brushes do everything else. I don't have to work as hard.
And like, this is a real noobish question, but how big is your screen size set to for these?
What are you talking about, Rob?
Like this screen size. Like when you create a new piece of paper.
Yeah, this is 11 by 17 at 400 DPI, so it's great for print. As a matter of fact, it's good for overprinting, as in like huge banners or like posters or whatever. But I'd prefer that you don't print it big, because then all my flaws start to show.
Print it big and put it up in your man cave and like right above your bed or something.
Do you guys have your own artwork
that's what
hanging in your homes anywhere?
Everywhere.
I do. I have a piece of artwork right in front of me here.
That's yours?
Yeah.
Narcissists.
Well, I mean, I didn't draw any of mine. They're from my book. Does that count?
But I heard that you were an artist some time ago, Rob.
I'm a great
he's
artist.
a fantastic artist.
Yeah.
I've seen.
See, my thing is that, like, you know, if you're a carpenter, you wouldn't buy a bookshelf. So if I need art on the walls, I don't need to pay for art. I'll just make it.
That's profound, Camel.
Thank you. I can do it myself.
I don't know. I had one piece of art hanging on my wall one year. That was mine. And I thought, this is obnoxious. So I promptly took it down after like having it there for 3 months.
But I like your art. I would hang your art.
But that's different, right? That's my art hanging in your space, as opposed to, right?
Well, you can hang my
own
art. I think everyone should hang my art.
Mate, if I could draw, I'd hang my art as well.
You could hang that piece that you did of me, the big long that you did on that like kids craft paper.
God, that was great, wasn't it? That's fantastic.
Rob, you're missing an opportunity. You're paying out to people that you don't have to.
I know. Surely, Eric, after through your whole career, there must be one piece of art you're like, that's amazing. I could put that on my wall.
In the moment, I'm quite proud of it because whatever technical thing I did, I was like, oh, that felt good, but enough to put it behind put it in a frame and hang it on the wall.
Wow. Oz says, didn't Rob draw a Crocodile Man picture for Fragger? Surely he put that up on the fridge. I did. That was a great piece of art, that. Oh, yeah.
That's the art hanging behind me, in front of me. I look up at it every day. Hello.
Did you draw that, Mike?
Yeah, that's Darwin cradling a chimp, and the time lapse of that was one of the first videos I put on YouTube.
It doesn't look like something you drew, Mike.
Why is that, Rob?
Well, I mean, it's a very different...
Because it's quite good.
...style. It's like digital. Digital. I won. I did that for a science competition for Threadless, and I won it. And they sent me $2,500 and a telescope. I still have that telescope today, although it's in the shed.
Why a telescope?
I don't really have anywhere to put it because it was the science competition.
Oh, okay.
So,
Did you win?
Yeah, I just said I won. I won $2,500.
I'm sorry, I'm like not really paying attention.
Camel is coming.
Yeah,
is
clearly,
going in and out of the conversation.
Where am I again?
What is this? Is the camera on, or who am I talking to?
Hello? Is anyone here?
What show is this? What did you win?
Oh, Jesus.
I won $2,500 and a telescope. And they said to me, they said the telescope costs as much to ship as it did to buy. That was quite a good one too.
You still have the telescope?
Oh my gosh. I think Cameron's just trolling at
Just
this.
leave it there.
Did I miss that part? Sorry.
Not just that part, friend. I think all of it.
Mo says Bancroft has a telescope pointed out of the window of his shack towards the house. Sometimes he peers through it and imagines he's spending time with his family.
That's too accurate. Man, that's too true. There's too much truth in that statement.
Too close to home.
Yeah. Although I did get, just before the stream started, I got a good Uno session in with Clark, and we did 3 games, and he beat me. He's 4 years old, and he beat me. Best 2 out of 3.
I've never played a game of Uno in my life. I don't even know the rules.
It's a good,
You're
good
not
fun
missing
game.
out.
Classic.
So, Mike, is this gooey substance gonna drip down that first step as well, or are you cutting it off at that step?
Yeah,
You
it's
are
gonna
directing,
come
Rob?
down a bit here.
What's that?
Would you say that you're art directing right now?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I want to be able to understand what he's drawing. I don't know, Eric. Are you feeling the gooiness of this drawing from Mike here?
I think the gooiness it's pretty thick. This stuff looks thick to me.
It looks more like tattered robes to me.
Yeah, well, this is because this is a single shot. This is part of a sequence. You see, you'll be able to see the first there's bubbling on the surface, and then the head emerges, then the head and the shoulders, and now this is the hero shot. He's like stepping out of the thing. It'll all come make sense.
All right, man. I believe you.
Together.
You sound unconvinced, Rob.
No,
I'm always unconvinced.
It's gonna have a bit of faith, Rob.
All right, listen, would you guys like to see all the commission images that I?
Yes.
Yes.
The commission. It took a little while to get ramped up because I hadn't drawn traditionally in a while. But all right, stand by.
I can't wait for this book to make it to Australia.
It's never making it to Australia.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of resigned to that fact, but yes.
It's only on a hope and a promise. All right. I hope the camera can focus on this thing. You see that, all right?
Go full screen. Oh, sick.
That's one.
Oh, I saw this earlier. So you've been sharing all these on Twitter. I was scrolling through a whole bunch of these.
That's two.
Oh, so are they? Did people request these particularly, or
well, the what do you call it? I think the ground rules was unless you have a specific one that you would have me do, please say so. Otherwise, I'll defer to one of the characters from Athena. So
these are good. Eric, do you ever think about doing these as commissioned images?
I swear to God.
See what I have to deal with?
I don't know what's so funny. They're very good.
Yeah, I mean, you can draw.
Yeah, I think I'm
just
paying attention, Mike.
There may be a future in it.
Neon Genesis.
You got.
How do you know that, Rob? How do you not know American comic books? And I hold up a Neon Genesis thing, and you're all about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're brought up on.
Stick with it, kid. You could go far.
Yeah, I mean, you could do all right with these.
Yeah, I think I can make $2 or $3 off of these things.
Oh, you could easily sell these for at least $10 or $20 a pop.
I think I could give them away with a $5 bill, and I'll be okay.
Now, is that Gladiator?
No, get out of here, Neon Genesis.
It kind of looks like Gladiator to me.
Carmen San Diego.
Carmen Electra.
You're just recently...
Why are you guys trying to torment Eric? We invite him on.
It's kind of fun now. It's kind of fun.
I would never do that.
Optimus Prime. Wow.
There you go. That's it. I think that's all of it.
Sick.
Unless there's some that I miss. I've still got to go through the list and make sure I got everyone's. But there you go.
I knew at least half of those characters. That was pretty cool.
Most of them. Don't
lie. Some person says $20, $15 if it's signed.
Oh. It depreciates in value with my signature.
As soon as he signs it, it depreciates. It's like a new car.
How are those little head sketchy ones that you did, Eric? Were they good too? Because I got one of those.
Are you asking me for the quality of them?
Did you do
like how I felt about them? Like, what would be the dumb?
Would you
no,
hang
Rob,
them
they
on
were
your wall?
absolute crap. I'm just handing them out as freebies. No, they were fun to do.
You'd probably make money if you sold
them. I'll consider it, Cam.
Patrick's in the house. Good to see you, Patrick. This is awful.
ETP. Yeah. You think this is awful? Don't come to my screen yet.
That's the perfect time to come to Michael's screen.
Boy.
Oh, wow.
No, it's a Swamp Thing.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Your afternoon is complete,
See?
Mike.
I drew something and someone was like, that looks like something. I'm currently looking at a Swamp Thing issue number 9. He's coming out of the water. It's a lot more watery, but this one is like...
See, people think I don't pay attention.
Supposed to be pretty gross.
Got Awasi in the chat. Val Walker's on Indiegogo. Bandito says, don't listen to them, Eric. Camel's book is mostly myth still at this point, and Rob hasn't sold a single drawing of his. Oh, damn. You got a super chat from Reenie.
Reenie says, Eric, did you get my last message about commissioning you?
I did.
Thanks to the panel for helping me stay awake and work. Thank you for the super chat, Reenie, by the way.
I did get it. I am poor in returning emails recently because I'm trying to tie pretty ribbon to this PDF file that we're about to send to the printer. So that's been all of my time and resources lately.
Sounds like an excuse to me.
Oh, yeah, no, it's not, no sidestepping. That's definitely an excuse, but it's a legitimate one.
That's fair. I thought I'd do some drawing while you guys are drawing, so I might draw Michael. Yeah, I might draw Mike.
This will be good.
No.
That sounded unconvincing, Mike.
A little bit. How are you feeling about your decision to do, 6 books in succession, and have because you've got, your team is you've drawn all of them, haven't you? Or you're pretty close to?
No, the 6th one is still about 2/3.
Well, the 6th
Oh
one.
my
I mean,
gosh.
he's just released the 1st one. He's drawing the 6th one. I believe he's getting the 3rd one colored. How are you feeling about this decision? There's a lot of moving parts in this production line that you've got set up. Are you feeling good? You feeling confident?
No, none of those.
Good. Okay. Good to hear. Good to hear.
No, confident. No, because it's the first. I didn't know what I had walked into with the first one. Feeling good under the metric of like, this is what I intended. Yes, but in as far as, is it going to be something that's going to keep me out of the red and in the black? I'm not sure yet. Whether or not it's going to be received well the first issue was really encouraging because people read it and said, hey, this feels really good. This reads very well. I'm excited for the next one. Count me in and so on. Very encouraging stuff. But I've got to stick that landing, and I'm worried that I won't, because it's always that big ending, right? My buddy gave me a harsh piece of feedback. It was more tongue in cheek than anything. He said, for your first miniseries, you opened with an alien invasion. What the hell are you going to do next? I'm like, next?
Yes.
What are you talking about? I'm not even thinking of next yet.
Is he talking about with the continuation of the series, or in the 2nd book? Because you've already got all them all done.
Yeah, no, he's talking about the continuation. We were already having conversations what to do with Arc Athena too.
That's all right. Yeah. You can figure that out. You'll figure that out.
Bandito says 2 alien invasions. Eric, I've seen in the chat like some people were saying it was their book of the year. So that has to feel pretty damn good.
People said that in the chat. I'm gonna screenshot. Hold on. I'm gonna stop drawing screenshots. Somebody telling me that's
not now.
Come over here, more.
Other times.
You got me all excited, Rob.
I kind of do that. I do get people excited and then let them down.
No, that's encouraging.
Some of the most
really
fun I've had. Yeah, some of the most fun I've had in Comicsgate was going on to streams after the Lucent came out, and people really liked it and they want to talk about it. That was amazing. They're the moments that make it really, all that hard work feels worthwhile. And you reminded what it was all about, forcing yourself to get up early and draw and stick to your deadlines and everything.
Okay. You know who did a really great, and my wife and I listened to the review, is, I say Eric the Handsome, but it's something else, right? It's Eric the Guapo, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Even on his YouTube channel, he reviewed it, and the enthusiasm and fervor that he had in his voice was amazing. When you start going into that predictive space, you're like, oh, I really hope he does something with this character who is my favorite, right now. I'm like, holy cow, that is so cool. So thanks to him.
Yeah, I really like Eric's reviews. He hates my cover. Like, it's like with a passion. He hates
Why?
it. But it doesn't matter to me. Oh, he's just I don't know. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like it. There's nothing I can do about it. It's that one there. There. But it didn't matter, because it was like, look, I just don't like this cover. And that's fine. Like that's cool, But he's like, but this is what I do like, and he went, it was good.
That's
It was really good. And I read pretty much all of his reviews, I think. Some of it you agree with, some of it you don't, but that's neither here nor there. I like people out there doing this stuff. It really is like I think that's going to be a bigger and bigger portion of the future of what we're doing on YouTube. In the same way that what is comics YouTube, what was it? For me up until Comicsgate came around, I didn't really partake in it too much, but it's people chatting about books and characters and stories and all that sort of stuff. And
and I think it's coming from a genuine. I think it's coming from a genuine enthusiasm, isn't it? It's not coming from like, hey, I'm gonna grab this and trash it, right? It comes from a place of like, here's what I like, and when they do speak enthusiastically about it, they have it becomes sort of that enthusiasm becomes infectious. Like more people want to read it, right? So that's really cool.
Gonna read that out.
Brooks in the chat. Yep. He says, "Okay, time for the big reveal. I'm doing the cover for Lucent 2."
There it is.
I know Mark has been getting a lot of flack in CG, and people are like dumping on his art. I think the art is good, irrespective of what he's been up to. I do like the covers, but I'm not so much a fan of the night letters to random people on Twitter. But,
all right, Bancroft, are you ready? I've finished the piece of artwork for you. Okay.
Right, there we go. Here. Okay, you got the body shape right. Yes.
It looks like a pencil.
Is a little scratchy. I'm like an upside down pencil. Rob, you got to draw with your arm. You can't just draw with you. Like that's why it's scratchy. You got to
drew that with
have
his
some
dick.
flow in it. Yeah, but okay. My friend was over a couple of months ago, and we were talking about our old skating days when we were younger.
Fuck, here we go.
And I said, we were talking, that was back when I was skinny, and I had that classic V-shaped male physique. And then he said, "Yeah, and now you've got the body shape of a Ninja Turtle." I was like, "Fuck you."
Some person says forehead is too small. Stephen Rockwood, that forehead is a little small, Rob. Keep working at it. EVS's favorite artist, Rob. There you go.
What's what's people's obsession with your forehead there, Mike?
I don't know.
Is it unusually large? Is oh my god.
I mean, Rob saw it in real life, and he said, "Oh, it actually looks kind of normal." I think it's because I sit kind of close to my camera, and it's a bit wide angle. If I were to sit back, it's still,
dude. It's like nearly half your face is your forehead.
It's got some height on it, right? I will admit that, but it's not like when people meet me on the street, they go, "Whoa, that's a big."
It's like they don't use crash test dummies anymore. They just
use
Mike's
on
forehead.
On top of that, I do call it a forehead, which everyone finds amusing. So I'm happy to be the big forehead guy. Got to be known for something.
Stephen Rockwood says, "Oh God, can you imagine Bancroft's before his body grew into that forehead?"
Yes, I mean I know what I look like.
Oh, all right. How's it going, Mike?
I think he's coming along. He's looking gooey.
Are you going to give him like an eye poking out through the sliminess?
No, we'll see his face in the on the next page. He wipes himself down with a towel.
He what now?
Which a towel. Imagine that they need to clean them quite vigorously after stepping out of this stuff. But it's interesting what you said earlier, Eric. You said you said, you're getting feedback and people are predicting what's going to happen, or they're hoping that this character or that character is going to be more prominent or continue on in the next books. I got that feedback as well. This scene that I'm drawing actually right here is a direct result of that feedback that I got.
Wait, so you had you're getting feedback from people about what they think will happen or what they hope will happen, and you said
what they enjoyed, what they really liked about it. And so when I was working on the book, and I would look and say, I feel like I need something here. Well, what can I add in here? And then I start thinking, what would really help the story out? What would round it out better? What would connect the middle to the beginning and the middle to the end and the end to the beginning a bit better? And I've obviously, all that stuff is percolating in my head about the feedback that I've gotten. I thought, yes, this is a great scene to put in right here. I know in particular a bunch of guys who are really going to get a kick out of it. I think it's really going to add to the story, and so it's like, okay, easy, and that's great. I think you can do that as you go.
Are you going to do the same thing with your books, Rob?
Listen to the fans.
Yeah.
Rini says what he's saying is he's ripping off the ideas that fans have.
These are not ideas that fans have, Rini. These are they really liked certain characters. They really liked certain ideas. The stuff that I like as well. And I've always planned on adding more stuff into the book, but maybe a little bit later on the track. So I started thinking, well, how can I add a little bit more now? How can I give them a little bit more to chew on now? Because the way the Loosened is written, I always say it's like a puzzle. There's only a certain number of pieces that everyone has to work with. But there's no reason why I can't necessarily give people more to work with now. There's just, page count and story flow and all that sort of stuff that you got to worry about. But
Sumo says Bancroft's ideas are all original, like his stream topics and the mighty chrome pen.
Exactly.
That sounded facetious, Bancroft.
Rob likes to imagine that he is the one who found the chrome pen, but we all know the truth.
It's so frustrating.
First to market and all that.
So, Camel, you are making sure there are no gaps in the lines. Is that what you're doing?
Yes, because sometimes when you do the paint bucket, to fill it in, you get like little tiny dots. So I just go in there and fill it if I see it. I shouldn't say sometimes, every time. Every time, forever and ever. So, it's and then what I'll do is, to cover my ass at the end, is I'll take this whiteboard in the back, and I'll just invert it so that it's black. And now, if there was any white anywhere, it'll just be converted to black. But I think I picked out all the colors, so it should be fine.
You walked through your process earlier, Camel, and it seemed laborious. Is that by design, or is it comes off as laborious to me? Is it easy for you?
I guess so. I don't know. It's because I have to do everything myself. I just feel like this is the best way to do it. I'm very anal when it comes to lines. So you'll never ever see a tangent ever. So I will redraw a finger or anything if I have to. And so if you zoom all the way in here, the lines are going to be as tight as possible. It's almost like a coloring book in that sense.
Sure.
And I sometimes I wish I could be a little bit more loose, like you or Snowgins. And when I do that, I always kind of feel like
Kelsey.
I don't know. There's a part. Yeah. Even Kelsey doesn't. He's still a little. Yeah. He's loose. Yeah. And I just wish I could do that. And I'm like, there's a part of my brain that's like, no, it must be perfect. I think it's because I came from a lot of graphic design, so it was like, you need to have closed vector. You need to make sure that your gradients are, perfect, and it just kind of translated that way. And I think it gives a cool look because you don't see it too often. Like this background I have here with the prisms, like I don't see the stuff like that in comics, so I think it's fun to kind of push the medium in a direction that I haven't seen too often.
All right, let's check out what Eric's doing.
I'm almost done, Rob. It's almost
Really?
time. It's almost inking time.
Cool. And is Jules coloring all these as well?
Who knows? I don't want to ever tax that kid. Sometimes I scare him.
Do you? Why?
Oh yeah, he's an overperformer, right? So I will say something like,
so rare.
I don't know if you're landing the color of that, Pocket Universe well. And boy, does he take that to heart. And next thing you know, he'll over deliver. And so
he turns up at your house with a baseball bat.
No, what he does is email me like 4 different options for that Pocket Universe. I'm like, calm down. We have 6 more of these things or 4 more of these things. Ramp it down a little bit.
So he sounds like he's a joy to work with.
Yeah, I would say.
Just like me, Rob.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
Those were the exact words you used. You can't walk them back now.
That you're a joy to work with.
That's what he said, Eric, about me.
Did you really say that?
You weren't a joy to pay.
I don't think I was that expensive.
Yeah.
Are you expensive, Michael?
No. Like I couldn't make a living off the how much I charged him, but maybe I could if I did it full time. I don't know.
Mike,
I'm sure if I had to, I could. If I had to, I could. I would just force myself to work faster and that sort of stuff. But as I found out through, kind of playing poker, you don't really get to that until you make that leap, until you do put it all on the line.
Mike, you said something similar to me, though. Instead of saying it was a joy to work with, you said it was a joy to work for me.
I don't recall that.
Yeah,
I don't. No.
The other night after the show.
Just in case you weren't aware, Eric, Mike used to play poker and rollerblade.
Yeah. Hey.
I make sure he's aware. Every time Ethan goes on about going to go play blackjack, I'm just does my head in.
Why?
Everything that he says is just, like he's such a. If he was playing poker, he'd be such a mark, Yeah. This whole approach to gambling, and it'd be like if he sat down at the table, everyone would just be licking their lips and looking at his chips. He's like, I'll take $1,000 to the casino, and I don't want to leave until I've lost it all. I'm like, okay. Raiden Radio is an ex-poker player too.
Really?
Yeah. He told me his story, and I was like, oh shit, that's my story. He didn't tell me. He's got a video up. About it. It was good. I mean,
I'd ask more follow-up questions, but
you don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
You like poker too, Rob. What are you going on about?
Yeah, I do. Just not when you talk about it. How is Gilgamesh going?
It's not Gilgamesh. Actually, I'm not going to say who it is.
Kumamesh.
Love that guy.
I think he's looking pretty. Ooh, zoom in on the gloop.
Yeah,
is he pretty coomy? Is he full of coom?
No.
Mo Big says Bancroft has already shot down the blockbuster Lucent ARO crossover. Simeon, I'm not going to finish that. Thanks. How hot was it today, Bancroft? Absolutely stinking.
It's been that hot for 2 weeks now. It's crazy.
So is this where you're cheating again and you just copy pasting stuff into the ground?
Well, unfortunately, I haven't kept up on my cuneiform language. So yeah, I'm gonna have to trace it, so to speak.
Is that
I'm gonna
acceptable?
I'm going to try and keep it loose.
What are you doing, Mike? I'm sorry, I didn't mean that to sound so condescending.
What are you doing?
Let me walk it back. I'll be more inquisitive about it. What are you doing, Mike?
What are you doing there? Oh, what are you doing? There's cuneiform inscriptions on this thing he's coming out of. So.
And you copied and pasted it over. Are you gonna retain?
Well, I collected. You can see I collected a whole bunch of different. I guess you could call them examples, flat textures, and I've squeezed them into somewhat of a uniform pattern there.
What's next step after this? Do you trace over it and kind of?
Yeah, I just kind of loosely. I mean, I don't trace over, like I don't get in there and go like that. I just kind of loosely. Yeah. Well, it's like that whole thing. Who said that? Some famous artist said it. If I can draw a leaf from my mind, and it looks pretty good. It looks like a leaf, and then I draw a second leaf. Looks pretty good, and then eventually you start realizing you're just drawing the same leaf over and over again. Better to, go back and look at an actual leaf to see what others might look like. And that's what I find with stuff like this. It's like, we got different shaped triangles and that sort of stuff. I find if I've just tried to do it myself, I end up just doing the same thing over and over again.
So Eric, you work in world building. You run a world building team for a game.
Do I?
If one of your guys did this copy paste thing, what would you do?
I'd be like, oh yeah, it's video games. So
damn,
that's what they do.
He wanted to hear fired, kicked out.
Yeah, no,
run out of the industry.
I mean, it's a good starting off point, and then everybody comes back and paints over it and makes it unique, or at the very least, the thing that I would think concept artists have a tendency to do is, sidestep a level of specificity, because not knowing what that source material is, you don't know if it's something sacrilegious that's suddenly on your artwork that's going to become player facing. You know what I mean? It gets really
I don't care about any of that. Plus, as well, this is we're talking about ancient Sumeria. I think everyone is long gone.
Sure,
it was possibly, following any of these deities, if they even is. I mean, the cool thing about this language actually is they have hundreds and thousands and thousands of they do it with rolls. Like, so they put it on clay, so they roll it across clay.
Yeah.
And when they finally found out how to translate it, it was a lot of very mundane, sometimes pretty hilarious, like just day-to-day chatter that they'd carved into stone, essentially.
Yeah.
This guy took, 5 bushels of wheat, but he only paid for 4, and then when I went to go there, he wouldn't give them to me, so I stole his ox, and now his cousins come out, like that sort of stuff. Just like all in clay tablets and stuff. It's pretty funny. There's websites dedicated to detailing the funniest stuff that they've found.
Just had an EVS raid, Bancroft.
Oh, good. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. We're with amazing, incredible, spectacular artist Rob Arnold, one of Ethan's favorites that we all know about. There's an example. Oh, you've been doing more drawing, Rob. I didn't know that.
I've just been doodling.
He's inspired.
Okay. Show it off. Don't.
No, it's terrible. I don't want to show it off.
Okay. All right. We also have the
Eric.
Eric CANETE of Athena fame, and many other things, obviously. But this is his recent thing. And Camel Moon's here too.
I thought I was
I'm
the
such a
favorite
terrible
artist.
host.
I'm so confused.
You are. Well, people just found out you're an artist. Like
Super
they didn't know that until
chat.
you did the the
Mail-in
godlike
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that took you like a month.
And then they were like, "Oh, he's the best artist in CG," and I was like, "I know." He was a 4. Thank you.
Sumo Thori for $5. Eric, any plans to do the sketch tier again on the next campaign?
Yeah. Answer is yes.
I'm not doing anything of that anymore. I'm done.
What happened?
I'm not doing any traditional art. I
Who hurt
feel
you?
like
What
because I well, I work digitally and I feel like it just slows me down. I would rather draw new pages than spend that time going back and doing art. I feel like it's going backwards for me, even though it's great to get that stuff out there and people buy it and everything. I don't think I'll be doing it, but Shantan Jetty has offered to do some original art for me, so I'm going to take him up on that offer.
Cool.
Was it just too laborious, Mike?
Laborious
from the main goal.
Took me away from. I know I've got pages I need to get done. I've got coloring. I'm people who are used to the channel know I'm also doing a side book. I've come to the decision that I'm going to be coloring that myself as well. I've just got things I need to get done, and it seemed like a good idea at the time when I was thinking I'd get 100 backers or whatever, but ended up getting 1,000, and that took a lot of time to do all the head sketches and sketch cards and original art and everything. It took a lot of time.
Boo-hoo, mate. Success is just so tough on you.
It's not about that, Rob. It's about prioritizing my time, and I want to prioritize getting books out.
Phil says, tell Eric I got the Aeon Flux box set for Christmas.
Did you just say anal flux?
You just said anal flux, Rob.
I said Aeon Flux.
I thought he said anal flux.
We both heard it.
That's 3 people.
Well, you guys obviously hear what you want to hear. What can I say? Jasper says, sketches broke Bancroft just like interior pages broke Mark Brooks. Oof.
That could be it. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what happened with Mark and his interiors, but all that time I spent on the couch, months and months, doing head sketches and sketch cards and original art. I could have been knocking out pages for Paint to Death.
He's still complaining about that. My God.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying work smart.
KSSS says, what's Mel drawing today? I mean, Bancroft.
A very gooey fella. He's stepping out of a thing and he's covered in slime, essentially.
How to Draw Comics by Dan Lawless is here. He's an amazing artist, Eric. I don't know. Do you know Dan Lawless? God, he can draw. Yeah, he's awesome.
I don't know a lot of people. I feel bad.
I got a question for you, Eric. Malin, he did an art competition for Godlike, and he had some absolute cracking pieces of artwork in there. Like, honest to God, he could have had like 4 or 5 covers if he wanted to. Some of the quality was just top notch. True. Have you, or would you consider doing something similar for Athena moving forward?
It's too much coordination, you guys. I mean, even with this next campaign, I learned so much from the first. I'm like, the more things I can quote unquote automate, the better off it'll be. That's just a lot of coordination. I mean, hats off to John for doing it, but I don't have the tenacity.
Well, he doesn't have to do anything. He just puts the money up.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what's the next step for that? Is what is he doing anything with the artwork that's been turned in?
He is. He's probably gonna. He said he might even do a book.
Yeah,
because there was so much.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous. That was way better than what anyone expected, I think.
Oh yeah, what was the expectation?
Well, I didn't think the last one was good, but I don't think it quite reached the. I mean, it didn't quite reach the level that we got. I mean, and there was that purse, that prize money. Like Camel did one, and he spent a lot of time on that, you know. And people were just coming out of the woodwork doing some of the best stuff that we've ever seen them do.
Yeah,
chasing that dragon.
I think the smartest thing he did, and at the time I'm like, oh, I don't think I like that idea, because I would like to see people get first, second, and third. But the fact that he only had first place, I think that really pushed people to really kick it up.
And plus, it makes you like that's a massive boon. The who was it? Jules who won it?
Lucas Meyer.
Lucas, yeah. Getting my names mixed up. You know, that's a massive thing that he can claim. That's like a pretty good claim to fame now.
It's fine.
Stephen Rockwood says that contest turned Camel even more bitter.
I understand, but that's why I got out of doing t-shirt competitions. You know, you put everything you've got into something for sometimes months, and then, you know, just for whatever reason doesn't hit. And
my wife was like, "If you don't win this, I'll leave you." And now I'm alone.
Well, now I've noticed you've been asking to stream a lot more, and
yeah. So thanks, John, for ruining my life. That was cool.
Did you like your wife, though? I guess is the important question.
Did I like her?
Yeah.
She was all right. You know.
She paid the bills.
She pays the bills. No, I love my wife more than anything.
Ryan Blue Thunder, Bancroft was a wet t-shirt contest judge?
Never, no.
You sure? Took you long.
If Ryan wants me to go on about my old t-shirt designing days, I'm only more happy than to.
Please, Ryan, no. Please don't ask any
I don't think anyone else is interested.
SDA, gold digging camel.
Mel used to be my sugar daddy.
Bretsky the Great says Camel's wife is smoking hot. Correct, Amundo.
Is she though? I mean, have we seen her?
Why do you say it like that, Rob?
I know. Do you hear how he talks? I'm glad.
I showed pictures of her on Twitter because no one believed I had a wife. I was like, "Here, go away, trolls."
Okay.
But then everyone thought maybe she's your like physiotherapist.
Well, you got to marry someone, you know. She got me erect. What can I say?
A meme started. I think it was on the Jack Show, Eric, that Camel is in a wheelchair. For some reason, I don't know. I didn't watch it, but it went around for a while.
Has anyone actually seen Camel stand up?
Yeah, he has.
I did it on my show a week ago.
He did.
I could do it right now.
He literally did.
They made you stand up, Camel.
Look at him trying real hard.
You're using your arms.
Did it.
All right. Yeah. Eric is doing the face on. It is hypersexual, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Great character. Camel, what are you doing?
Admiring.
Okay. Camel, stop.
He's recovering. That took a lot out of him to stand up like that, you guys.
Exactly.
Pushed him.
I thought his arms would have been stronger. I mean, if he's in a wheelchair, like, shouldn't he?
I'm very bottom heavy, you know. It's hard to lift all that. It's a lot of plumpness down there.
There are 60 people in the chat right now, so if you haven't subscribed,
thank
please
you.
Hit that subscribe
Ethan
button.
Raid. Oh, Ethan's in the chat.
Oh, he's right there.
Ethan is more than welcome to come draw with Camel and Eric and I.
Like that? Thank you, Ethan. That's really nice to hear. It's coming along.
Oh yeah, people are going to be. I always said people are going to be shocked when they see this book. I've seen most of it, and
yeah,
it's going to be a lot of fun. And because most people don't even know there is a book; they think it was a standee campaign.
Yeah, Bullet Ninja gives Camel a 4. That many people do. Many people undeservingly do. So
Mo says Ethan is here to witness a great artist like Rob in action.
Yeah,
thanks.
Yeah, you can show off your art too, Rob. Again,
You should do it, Rob.
Don't be
bashful.
Oh, this is how he treats. See, this is why he doesn't ever get hired by anyone. He treats his art like that.
That's one reason.
It's a bank.
You got to go full screen,
He's
Rob.
underselling himself.
Okay, I'll go full screen.
That's
It's
me.
me, Bancroft.
My enormous pencil head forehead. Why have I got such a pencil head? Like, what was behind the decision to make my jaw an inverted triangle?
That's where you've gone wrong. You thinking there was some thought behind this when there was none.
Yeah.
It is what it just happened.
Oh, you're onto inking, Eric.
I am.
Where have you been, mate?
I've been focused on cuneiform. I'm going cross-eyed.
Bullet Ninja says, "Damn, Rob is really into photorealism."
Yes. Mm.
Stephen Rockwood says, "Rob, you got the forehead head right, but the width is too narrow." Damn.
Yeah, this is what you notice, like when you start doing draw streams. Everyone's a critic. You gotta have to weather that. Everyone has an idea on how you can do your drawing better than you can.
Are you talking to Rob?
Well, we've noticed that with me, because we started doing this coloring replicator, and
oh right,
I mean that was, no end of suggestions. And coloring is not like drawing. You do coloring in stages. Although Camel does do drawing in stages, so.
Rini has a drawing suggestion. She says, "Bancroft, can't you just threshold that cuneiform image and then set it to multiply?" Yeah, Bancroft.
What she said, Mike.
Yeah, but
Well,
then
it's
that
your
would be
process.
even like God. I mean, Rob doesn't even like the fact that I'm drawing over existing cuneiform. Can you imagine if I just used actual imagery off the internet?
Can I tell you a secret?
So
Bancroft?
Rob is the metric by which you conduct your art.
What's your secret, Rob?
I don't actually care.
Oh.
Well, anyway, I'm not doing it because of that. No, I don't actually do that for anything. I do try and do my art as much as I can that's close to if it was traditional, because there is a look that you get with digital that I don't know, I'm trying to make it look, I don't know, I don't want to say real because I know digital art is real, but I don't use fancy brushes. I use one brush, and I'm not saying like I'm definitely not a traditionalist or anything. Like, I'll use references and all that sort of stuff, but no, I'm not going to just get the old levels out.
Some people in chat requested some veins on your forehead, Mike. So if you're ready, let's have a look.
Oh, that's almost lewd.
Pencil's breaking up.
Actually, because I'm in my brain, like I'm a brainiac. And for anyone who's, because we don't normally stream at this time. Well, we do. Like, I don't do late night Comic Skate at this time. But if you're new to the show, the VB is the drink of choice here in Australia. Or the working class man. Rob thinks I'm an elitist who grew up in a mansion or something.
We're both elitists.
Well, when I'm on Camel Nights, I am.
Yeah, you're in the ivory tower with me.
Exactly. But I drink the man's drink. The man. I'm a man of the people when it comes to my beer.
No, thank you.
Fowler says it looks like a dong. Yeah, kind of. Mike kind of does look like a dong here, doesn't he?
Rob, the first thing you said to me when we met in real life was, you actually look normal. I didn't expect that. That was like the first thing you said to me.
Wait, you guys met in real life?
Yeah, we did.
Well, I didn't.
We live in the same city.
We didn't meet. That's not fair.
Well, you live kind of far away. There is a Melbourne in Florida, I hear.
Yeah, go there. And I'll meet you there. We'll hang out.
Rob and I and Corey and Clayton all met up at a pub for Clayton's birthday.
Oh, I wasn't invited to that either.
No, you weren't. You were gatekept.
By you.
And Clayton was pretty normal. Corey.
Oh, I got Corey a good one that day.
Oh my god.
I can't repeat that one on air.
You cannot. I nearly spit my drink out. Rob was actually hilarious. He said a joke. You can't say it.
Oh,
like
God.
it's actually, it would be like slander if we said it. But yeah, Corey kept saying, we're just eating. You know, I had a chicken schnitzel or something. Every 10 minutes he'd just go, your colors are still flat, Bancroft. Just like that out of the blue.
What would he say?
All right, Corey. Your colors are flat, Bancroft.
Just out of
He
nowhere,
said it like 20
unsolicited.
Jelly.
Unsolicited.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I was like, all right, Corey. All right.
Eric, were you invited to this?
No, this is the first time I'm hearing of it.
Good.
Yeah, it was a pretty exclusive thing.
Did you say it was a really exclusive thing?
Yeah, well, there were only 4 of us, plus all of Clayton's friends. Unhinged for $2 says 1 great comic creator and 3 other people. Thank you, Jason. That is that's a very nice compliment. Thank you very much.
God damn it.
It's talking about me.
I was going to steal that one.
No, you can't. I read the super chats.
Crackhead says that was some fun streams back then, Rob and the Buttons. Crackhead has a great show. Make sure you subscribe to that too if you haven't already. Chuck the link in there, Crackhead. So, Eric, I mean, this is looking pretty good.
Thank you, Rob. Forgive me if I'm not talking all that much. I'm playing up against a deadline.
Do you
pretty angry?
Do you give yourself daily deadlines, Eric?
I do.
Yeah, so I've been starting to I gave myself a weekly deadline last week, and for the first time I actually made it.
I'm really surprised
and I attribute...
there was... Sorry, go ahead, Mike.
No, go on.
I was going to say, I'm really surprised by the idea that you don't have a decent measure of what your output could be.
Well, I never quite know exactly how long I'll get to draw. I never quite know what work's going to be like, or what family things are going to be like.
I gotcha.
Or other stuff and like that. So, on top of that, I didn't really focus on the comic book stuff as much as I could have over the past 4 or so years, because it just wasn't as serious as it is now. But since I launched and got the book out and everything, now it's all consuming. So I'm starting to get a better idea, but it's very much a work in progress.
Steven says, Rob, how pumped are you in the middle of fulfillment? Dude, I'm exhausted. We've been packing non-stop. My wife's still packing right now. We've got a whole truckload of orders ready to go out. So yeah, it's really good. It's just really tiring. You got another super chat, Bancroft?
Oh,
Oh,
excellent.
Todd's
Thank
here.
you so much, everyone, for the generosity. Oh, Todd, he's back. Great. Todd McFarlane for $2. I got bored burning wads of hundreds, so here I am. Well, feel free to burn some of them in super chats. No need to waste them on any more baseballs or anything like that.
I didn't know Todd was so cheap, only with $2 super chats.
I think he gave me a decent one on the night of a 20. I think I got a $20 one from Todd, so he's not slacking.
Oh, all right.
So, are you saying my $2 super chats are just not appreciated? Is that what you're saying?
Well, you're not
Everyone's
Todd
super
McFarlane.
chats.
If Todd
appreciate
McFarlane makes $1 million in an action figure, I think can afford more than $2 super chats.
Mel B says, "Oh boo hoo, Rob."
Mel
Weren't
is,
you
of course,
expecting this much
my.
work, though, Rob?
What's that?
I said, weren't you expecting this kind of work?
Yeah, it's just there's a lot of custom orders. There is a ton, which is great.
Are you
'cause,
going to
like,
do that next time?
Yeah, man. I think you have to, man, because I want to work it out so I can figure out actually how much money I've made off having add-ons. But I think it would be in the thousands. So you'd be potentially giving up on thousands worth of dollars by not having them. So I get it for someone like John who's doing like 3,000, 3,000 or 4,000, backers. But for me, it's trying to get every cent I can so I can make more comics. That's what it is for me.
Did you do add-ons, Eric? Can't remember.
I wasn't smart enough to do it.
Well, I mean, you had Iconic doing the fulfillment anyway, didn't you? So I don't know if you can just like pass that off to them. I don't know how it
I
works over
could.
there.
I think I just tried to keep that first campaign as low key as far as things that I needed to do. Because I'm not as confident about it as you guys have been. It seems like there's a few notches on your guys' belt when it comes to crowdfunding. I'd say this was my officially my first one on my own. So I wanted to understand it before I sort of overcommitted to something and then be underwater, X amount of months in at the end of the campaign.
It's sensible. I had a guy ask me the other day, is it okay if I just have my book on the campaign? I was like, yeah. People get worried, because there's a lot of people talk a lot about all the extras and stuff, but you got to remember, half the crowd don't care about that stuff. Half the crowd do, but and he was worried. Can I launch a campaign with just the book? And I said, well, I think a lot of people might actually thank you for that.
Yeah,
it's a bit different for me too, because this is issue 3. A lot of the people have been with me for quite a while, so they want to get different things. But it's not my first campaign, so having add-ons makes sense for me.
All I did was add-ons.
I was about to say that Camel's
book.
whole thing was add-ons.
Well, I feel like I prefaced.
People forgot he had a book.
I said it was the comic and merchandise campaign, so I put that up front. So I don't think anyone was surprised by it.
I've done another drawing of you, Mike.
Excellent.
Here we go.
Rob, why
What
do
did
you
I
bother
do to
paying
deserve
out
all
to
this?
people if you're just gonna keep drawing? I say
That's more accurate. I like that. That's you're starting to become photorealistic now.
What do you think? You like the slime being green or more of a brown?
Oh, this is a slime themed show. I didn't realize we were doing.
See, the slime, if it's green, it sticks out. You can see it, But if it's brown, it makes more sense with the mud. But I don't like it as much because it kind of blends them in too much.
Oh, Todd McFarlane.
Yeah,
says,
go for the green. Green.
That drawing sucks, Rob.
Whoa.
Oh.
Whoa, Todd.
Todd McFarlane. Unbelievable.
I heard an amazing story yesterday. A real Todd McFarlane story. I'm not saying this Todd McFarlane in our chat isn't real Todd McFarlane. I don't know. But Shantan Jetty was young kid. I don't know the exact age, probably 11 or something. What are you laughing at?
Make it white camel from
Wait,
Phil.
There you go. Coom edition.
Don't do that.
Screenshot that for your NFTs, everybody. All right,
yeah, he was at a convention and he was waiting in line to get a poster signed by Todd. And I don't know, for whatever reason, when he got up to Todd and he was just like, oh, you know, like a nice young kid. He was really respectful and polite. And he was already accomplished comic book artist at that age and aspiring and everything. Todd gave him a original art page from Amazing Spider-Man. Just handed it to him.
Just randomly.
Yeah, just randomly. And we were like, what? So he actually pulled it down off his wall, and there it was. It has Peter Parker in it. I mean, he's not in the suit, but there's Peter there. There's Mary Jane on the bed looking all sexy. And yeah, how crazy is that? And you're, you know, I would never,
did he find
I would
it?
never
He found
even have.
it for you?
He's had it. He has it right on his wall. Obviously, I mean, it's not a private.
Oh, okay. I didn't see it. I think
He
I
pulled
maybe
it
turned the
down.
channel.
Yeah,
Okay.
he pulled it down, and it was funny. I said, "What's all that orange stuff?" He said, "Well, he was using Sharpies, so the black turned orange over time."
Oh wow.
But I mean, it was there. You go, Jeremy Burt's the last page of Amazing Spider-Man 320.
It's pretty crazy. You haven't really made much progress, mate, on this.
Oh, that looks cool.
Well, there's a lot of cuneiform here. There's a story to tell. I don't know what the story is.
So how are you doing that, Mike? It's like hieroglyphics. You're tracing it.
Yeah. I just do this.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah, you just
I
trace
don't
it.
care. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Well, Rainey wanted me to just, you know, like use the actual image. I mean, I got standards. I'll stick to tracing. Thank you very much.
Do you have sign up for Arc Athena 2 yet?
What's that? What's a sign up?
Do you have a sign up like where people can sign up to get notified when you go live?
Oh, that's
interesting. You're going to launch somewhat soonish.
A sign up. I'll look into it.
All right. Phil wants to know
things his own way.
Is Mike drawing Coom too?
I'll be your own judge. I mean, if you want to share it, Rob, make your own. Does that look like a man doused in coom coming out of a cuneiform bath?
Oh boy.
Make your own. Eric's like, what did I agree to come on to? Make your own decisions there. It's all right. It's late in the night, Eric. It's cool. I'll set directly after this stream is done. I'll set it not for kids. Actually, I think I can do it right now. I think they let you do that.
Have you ever done that?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
I kind of got lazy. I think it's actually. I was told you can actually help your with the algorithm if you do that, because you can actually get live subtitles and stuff if you set it to English, and that could just YouTube can see. Oh, that's a good thing. But I got lazy and I stopped doing it.
You guys are still considering the algorithm stuff, eh? You're still trying to find a way to game that YouTube system. Jeez, I respect.
Of course.
Nolan Lockhart says, "That's my secret. I'm always cooming."
Hey, we have an esteemed guest here tonight. Let's keep it.
Rob?
How is this going? Todd McFarlane's not happy with this NFT stuff.
It's happening? Didn't he launch one as well? Yeah.
I don't know.
Did Todd McFarlane launch something?
Yeah, I think so. I think he launched one with Steve Aoki.
I'm not aware. Todd, you're in the chat. Let us know.
Isn't Steve Aoki a DJ?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Get Over It says, Rob, off Ethan's 1991 or 1,991 backers for Blood Honey Box campaign, he's made $17,610, not counting shipping so far on just add-ons. So yeah, add-ons are good. Yeah.
I thought I'd done add-ons, but I hadn't because I hadn't connected them to the things. So I was like, oh, why is no one buying the add-ons? And then, you can't change a perk once it's done. But then I was happy that I hadn't because I didn't have the shipping worked out when I launched. I was just going to go with standard Australia Post shipping. So I was happy that I didn't. But now for my next campaign, we've got that all sorted now. So yeah, I'll be doing add-ons if I have something I want to add on.
Mel says Eric is judging you all. Sumo says Rini would have just created her own language and Kunu form and not just trace it, Bancroft, just saying.
Well, Rini's better than me. What can I say? And it's not hard to find someone out there putting in more effort.
Todd says, I was pressured into it for tax reasons. I personally think they suck. There you go.
Oh.
Bancroft, are you going to show off what you showed us earlier, or is that still under wraps?
It's still under wraps.
Oh, gosh,
you know me. I always think about how can I get some content out of this. Rob is talking about, I have a page of art from an artist, a very talented artist that I'm very happy with.
I'm very happy with that too.
We will, I'll be continuing with him. He will be drawing the Lucent Fractured Mind. But yeah, I'm waiting till I get a couple of extra pages. We can do a whole big show on it. We can talk about it then.
A whole week
I'll
of
announce
shows.
who it is, and not a week. Mel says it's her. But yeah, I got the page back the other day, and I mean, spectacular. Really, just exactly what I wanted. Exactly what I wanted.
Eric, you've seen the page. If you had to give it a score out of 10, what would you throw it at?
Oh.
Like 10 being amazing and 1 being...
Yeah.
That's a strong 7.
Okay.
It's a strong
Wait
7.
till I get my colors on it.
It'll be a strong 6. Ballandor says, Rob, how do you feel about seeing your favorite character being drawn? Yeah, pretty good, man. I mean, it's my favorite character of Eric's franchise.
I have a franchise, Rob.
Yeah, it just came into my brain, so I went with it. I don't understand
It's a strong-looking page, Mike. I hope there's so much energy to it. And the only reason I thought... I didn't make the connection that it was related to your IP at all. Because there was so much motion and action to it. And yours is paced very specifically, right?
Well, this is what I want to do with these side books, is do that sort of stuff. So my thinking with, my thinking
the action
is,
scenes.
Yeah, I want to. I mean, this story is essentially an origin story. It's when my two main characters meet, Ella and Damon, and it's set in a dream. So it's, I mean, it's almost wall-to-wall action, but it's not it's not just mindless action. It's like all for a purpose. But I wanted to do, because I want to show off the potential of the Lucent. Because I have paced the main story to be very, it's a slow burn. So I want to kind of show off what we can do in a side story form. And it's a great opportunity to flesh out the characters a bit more. And I mean, I love it. I was very daunted going into this thing, like finding another artist to draw my stuff. But from what I've seen so far, and he's actually penciled 3 pages, and he's inked that one. I couldn't be happier, and I feel like I have no problem coloring it and really tying it into the look that I've got already. So, all good things.
Mo says it's not enough. She's drawing the main book. Now this, you're gonna work at a death, Bancroft.
Poor Mel.
Rini says that's a great idea, Bancroft. I'm thinking of doing a side story book for Fiendish too. Yeah, it's a great idea, not Bancroft's idea, but it's a great idea in general.
Was it?
I think it's like, in terms of world building, it's awesome, and it's perfect for comics because you can do anything. You can genre hop, because these are going to be one shots. This first one, it's a modern day setting. It's very action packed. I've also got another story. I haven't written the script, but I'm it's percolating in my mind, and that's more of a sort of Viking-ish sort of story, but with magic sort of stuff. Not Norris Saga. And then there's so many possibilities of things you can do with this stuff, and all the while it's just fleshing out your universe, building up your franchise, building up your characters, making them more real and everything, because you can't just cram everything into the one series and have it be cohesive. I'm really dead against long exposition info dumps and stuff like that. But having said that, I've got a document essentially that is the sort of the history of the universe that I've written, and there's so much to tell in that. And I want to do that.
You'd no aspirations of doing it all yourself, Mike.
I didn't have time. I mean, I'll be doing the main books. So, and plus as well, with this guy, I'm just so happy that he's got a style. He's got an approach that fits the Lucent. It really fits.
Even if Mike had the time, Eric, he doesn't have your speed.
I definitely don't have the speed, but I'm working on it.
Camel is asleep from Zaid.
I'm here. I'm just working, just thinking.
Definitely not working. You were like sat back in your chair. What are you talking about?
I gotta like let the brain rest for a second,
When I stream this, like when we're drawing on stream, Eric mentioned it earlier, the inking stage is you can kind of turn your brain off stage. That's why I always do that on a stream, because otherwise, you guys, I don't know if you've seen when I do the cartoon things. I mean, my brain just turns off, and I can't do 2 things at once like that, or at least not yet.
Yeah, I can't imagine having a show hosting the show and drawing. I mean, it'd be impossible.
It is for me at the moment, but I'm hoping I can.
Wait, what's the roadblock for you guys in as far as that is concerned? Is it because you feel like you have to engage while drawing?
Well, like hosting a show takes, effort, right? You gotta see who's in your chat. You gotta make sure that you're switching between screens. You gotta be talking, make sure the topic's flowing. It's not like
Yeah.
just talking. It's like you're, orchestrating a thing going on.
But
So,
don't you ignore your chat, Camel?
I just ignore you whenever you're on. That's it.
Touche.
So I know it feels like I ignore the chat. I'm like, I don't want to talk to Rob.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Mark Brooks says, I'm glad you're so happy with the work I did for you, Michael.
We'll be using a pen name, Mark.
There's an easy way to boost your speed, Bancroft, and you could do it right now, but it's not for cowards.
That is true. I've seen that happen in real life.
What's he talking about?
A certain substance that increases your productivity.
Vaccine?
Yes.
Okay.
Get your booster.
So Eric,
it's a kind of booster.
Eric, you've worked in comics, you've worked in games, you've worked in animation. Is there any of those more enjoyable fields to work in than the other?
Well, if there was a list of like this is the most enjoyable versus this is least enjoyable, I think comics is fun in concept, but as a living, I'm talking about mainstream, it's almost impossible. At least for me back in the day, almost impossible. By way of
is that because of the wages or just the setup of the industry?
It's definitely for me, again, just my personal experience with it. It was the wages. I couldn't do it fast enough. Comics by way of what they're paying you versus your expected output, I don't think works out very well. And at that time when I was doing it, I was living in Southern California, so that was the cost of living there was super high. Animation made it easier, right? Because they actually have what I believe to be a pretty decent compensation for what they're asking you to do. My job was environment artist, occasionally a character designer, occasionally a prop designer, and then for the most part, near the end there before I left, was a storyboard artist. I was pretty well compensated for that. But the big one is doing stuff for video games as a concept artist, because as an industry, right, it's pretty well off. Like it. What is it now? What's video games makes what more than
dwarfs everything.
Feature film? Yeah.
It makes more than feature films, music. It makes more than all other entertainment combined.
There you go. So
like the fact that Microsoft just bought Activision for $68 billion. It says it all.
Yeah. Wasn't it 680?
No.
Wasn't it 27 trillion?
That's something else, I think. The point is, there's a lot of money in video games, so that's a pretty decent industry to get into if you want to be well compensated for it, if you can get it. Does that answer your question, Rob?
Yeah.
We're all suckers trying to make a living in comics, essentially.
What's the difference?
Is there one franchise or
comics is fun? Just comics is, the thing that I wanted to do from the very beginning, but I wasn't very successful at it, was comics, right? But that's because I set it up to be like the thing, right? I was coming out of, the explosion that was Image in the mid to early 90s. So I thought, I could do that too, not realizing, no, that was effectively lightning in a bottle. Now, the guys who can make a living at it now, I think they are exceptional, right? But they are not the standard. And I couldn't keep up. So the love for comics got tarnished by the business of comics, right? As I'm doing comics now, I am in love with it again. Because I took the success of it, the financial component off of the table. I just wanted to draw. And this is so much fun.
Do you have a favorite part, Eric? Like getting the story down, the rendering, getting it in the mail when it's finished? Is there anything that is like, oh, this is like the best part of this whole experience for you?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think because I'm a novice scriptwriter / narrative guy, that's the most fun because it's the most anxiety ridden about the whole thing. Right? Like the drawing part is sort of old hat. I'm not diminishing it. I think it's still a ton of fun to draw. But when you crack that part of the story where you go like, oh, this all makes sense. The characters have their voices. The narrative all connects together, and it feels like this is going to pay off. That feels so much fun because the rush that you get from that not knowing, that's pretty great.
I agree. I find the writing to be hands down the most enjoyable part of the whole thing, and I love drawing. I wake up and I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
I love when you finish a piece and you're really happy with it, and it really, you got pretty close to what you had in your head. But yeah, having said that, the world building, crafting the story and everything, that's where it's at for me.
Yeah.
I think too, once you know your characters, and how they respond, it starts to write itself a little bit because you're like, well, this is how this character would act here. Or how he wouldn't act. So you don't find, unless you're, I don't know, kind of full of yourself, but like you can easily say like, well, this is probably the right outcome for this. And then the ending or whatever, you're finishing up the scene definitely gets to a point where like, well, that's the only natural way that this should go. At least for me.
Yeah.
I think when you do it right, the things that they say, like you said, Camel, it's like, it comes off organically.
Yeah.
What I don't like, and I'm still really, really bad at this, is that I use I have a really bad habit of, I need this piece of information, this piece of exposition to come out, so I'm just gonna, shove it in a word balloon in front of this character, And I think that's necessary, right? Sometimes you have to do that. But you have to do it naturally. Like, that's not how that character would give that piece of information out, right? They would say it nuanced. They would say it's like this, And running into those kinds of discoveries I think is really fun. And the drawing just becomes just like, okay, I have to draw that now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, when I was younger, and I mean like really young, my teens, I would kind of write the scenes to go with what I knew how to draw. I was like, well, I don't know how to draw that.
No, that
so we can't have that happen. Let me figure out an easier way. There was a lot of computer screens that would tell me what's going on. I was like, well, that's not the best way to do it. But it's it's a learning process once you're past that phase,
I wasn't smart enough to do that. I was writing stuff and not thinking about how I was going to actually draw the friggin' thing. Every page, I'd be like, how on earth do you draw this? So I'm like, I'm trying to Google, because, it's not like I have a whole bunch of comics. It's not like you can just like, oh yeah, I remember there was a scene where a boat was crashing in the waves in friggin', this issue number. You don't remember that. So I'm like trying to Google, like, how do comic book artists draw this? Sometimes you get a bit of an approximation. Sometimes you don't. That's what it was like for me. And on some things, obviously, especially if you're doing fantasy or powers or something, there's no reference. You've just got to figure it out. So some of these powers I was drawing, I'm like, I literally couldn't do it. I didn't know how to. So I remember one of them, it was just, I'm just going to draw a bunch of vertical lines going up, and that's it. I couldn't do anything else. And it was years later I came back, I'd gathered a lot more skills and techniques that I know how to do this now. So I went back and did it, and I was like, oh yeah, that's how I wanted it originally. But I used to run into that all the time. It's like, I don't know how to draw this.
I used to do a lot of women in pantsuits because I didn't really, because it was like, I was like, oh, they're all business ladies, because I could draw a suit and I wasn't particularly good at women.
Highfalutin.
And yeah, Well, it was the Ivory Tower comic series. Yeah. But that's why I started looking a lot into how Bruce Timm was drawing women, because he simplified it so much that I was like, okay, I get it. Now I totally get it. And then, that essentially was sort of a style that I adopted and then, changed enough to make it my own. But yeah, that was one of the reasons.
You would have been a shoe-in to make the Hillary Clinton graphic novel.
Yeah, the AOC
pantsuits.
The Pantsuit Chronicles. Yeah.
I remember, like, something that I still struggle with to this day is the folds of clothes, especially around the sleeves and things like that. And I remember whenever I found an example where a guy nailed it with as few lines as possible. Kelsey Shannon is a master of this. I would just study it and try and figure out, like, how does he know exactly how to have it? Because every time I try and duplicate it in some way, it didn't have the same look.
Didn't work.
And it's still an ongoing thing, but you get better and better at it. But that's funny. Pantsuits. I don't think I've drawn a pantsuit. I think maybe one. I lie. I've drawn a pantsuit. One.
Yeah, a lot of them were like that. And the comic that I was talking about earlier, the one that's 12 issues, I did that all with an ink brush. So it's like direct on paper. But what was cool about that is, you could taper the line width. So I essentially over, I don't even know, 400 pages became a master of doing those, that type of like clothing folds and stuff like that. And if you have a tapered width like that, then you can really get some cool effects with it. I think that's what Kelsey does.
Yeah. And I had Dan Frager send me a massive file of this old cartoonist master who worked for like 60 years. And it's just, his cartoons. Back in the day, it's like single page comics, essentially. That's how they publish them, one at a time. Yeah. And it's just all stuff like that. It's the most incredible resource of lakes and plants and people, the faces and the expressions, with very few lines, all the expressions you could ever imagine, and he nails every single one of them.
Do you have that? Can I see that?
What was his name?
Yeah, I can email it to you.
Yeah. No, I don't need to see it now, but yeah, it'd be cool to have a reference.
What's that? Sorry.
As it was Alex Raymond.
I always forget the guy's name. Hold on a sec.
Because when you guys were talking about like folds on suits and clothes, that's the guy I steal from almost exclusively.
Who?
There's an artist by the name of Alex Raymond.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
It's not Alex Raymond. It's Frank Godwin. If you ever heard of him, but I can email that over to you. It's a massive treasure trove of reference. We're over 2 hours, Rob.
Yeah. I just want to ask Eric, is there any one character design or franchise that you've worked on that you're particularly proud of?
Yeah, Tron. Hands down.
Cool.
So that's some of the most that's the most talented crew I'd ever been on. And
for the cartoon, the Tron cartoon?
Yeah, that CG one that just came out.
That was awesome. I love that cartoon. That was really good story. Like it was good writing.
Yeah. Yeah, because you had like feature film guys writing for it, who took it seriously, understood the franchise, and really didn't want to screw around with they understood that they needed to build on our understanding of it as an audience, but didn't want to take it so far off the rails that it was unrecognizable, right?
It's better than the movies, though. I mean, it's like you can sit there and watch that cartoon. It's like legit anime. I was like, wow,
those
this
guys
is really,
are good.
Really good.
Those, I mean, it was stupid expensive, and that's the reason why I think one of the reasons why I didn't do the second season, But you guys know Alberto Mielgo, right? You guys have seen that Death, Love, and Robots episode that he did called The Witness.
Which one's
I know
that?
of the series, but I don't remember the episode.
It's the one where a guy can see. I think there's the premise is that there's this prostitute that was getting beaten up on the adjacent window from his apartment complex, and he goes over there to investigate. Or I think it may be the other way around. Anyway, point is like Alberto was the art director for that, right? So it left I think a profound impact on the crew, the style that he established for it. And then Robert Valley came in and did the character designs and directed on it. So Robert is, he's got this thing called, something in cigarettes. He's a good, terrific animator. I'd worked with him way back in the day on Aeon Flux. And then, and I forgot that Robert also helped to set up the look and feel for Into the Spider-Verse, the first that Spider-Man movie that came out. So, like, again, a really, really super talented crew, and it was all I could do to keep up with them. So, hands down, that was the one that made me go, yeah, by way of look and feel, they nailed that.
And was there one franchise that was particularly frustrating?
Frustrating. No, well, it was frustrating only because we existed under the same roof. So, Bruce Timm had just, they established what Batman the Animated Series looked like, right? That was the high bar for animation back in the day, right? Like, you wanted to be part of that crew if you were working in television animation. And then we came in and did a relaunch called The Batman, right? And so it was very difficult to get out from under that shadow. They were in the middle of doing that Justice League cartoon. They were in the middle of doing I think they were at the tail end of doing the Superman cartoon. But to get out from under Bruce Timm's shadow, because he had just done this, revolutionary thing that was called the Batman Animated Series, that was frustrating because we couldn't. Everything was being compared. We had done it.
Oh, so you worked on the Batman.
The Batman, yeah.
I liked that too. That was great too.
That was fun. I mean, it was great. Jeff Matsuda did.
That had really good writing.
Yeah, it was good. It was great. It was just hard to get out from what they had established. I mean, you walked into Warner Brothers, the front lobby. This is how overbearing it was, and I say that lovingly. But when you walked into the lobby of Warner Brothers Animation, the second floor is where they did Iron Giant, right? The third floor is where the Batman guys and the Superman guys were, and we were at the first floor. And anyway, walking into the lobby, you just saw rows and rows of Emmys that they had won for Batman the Animated Series, right? So that was the foundation that they built that studio on for a good long while there. I mean, on top of obviously Scooby-Doo and all that kind of stuff.
But the Batman won some Emmys too, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it won 2.
Yeah, I mean it was later.
Definitely, yeah. But here's Bruce with and crew. Like every year, they practically just throw it to the Batman. I mean, they busted their butts. It was well deserved, but again, to be on the sort of show adjacent to that, trying to establish itself, that was tough.
Also, the license for the toys changed because that's when Mattel got it.
Oh, is that right? I don't recall. It went from Hasbro. To
I was at Hasbro very briefly, right towards the end of when they had when Bruce Timm was doing that series, and that was I designed some of the figures that came out right at the end. They were glow in the dark Batman guys, and they were mostly repaints. And then they lost the license a year later. Mattel got it, and then they started doing the Batman, which was really sort of a refresh because they wanted a Batman cartoon to go correlate with the Dark Knight movies that were coming out at the time.
Oh, interesting.
So, and that's why, which was very aggravating, they never put Two-Face, I guess, in the Batman. I think he's the only one of the core 10 villains that never shows up in that cartoon.
Yeah. Their take for the villain. I mean, I remember when I first saw the Joker design with the straitjacket, and I was like, wow, this is interesting, because what we'd come to know is like a purple suit and big smile, and this guy had it too, but now with the added feature of like a straitjacket that he had broken out of with a dreadlock kind of spiky, Sonic the Hedgehog hair. It was such a departure, but I think it was by design because the comparison was, it was undeniable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was annoyed I never used Two-Face.
I really liked you designed the aliens on Ben 10, didn't you?
The relaunch. So the first one was done by the original Ben 10 cartoon, the sensation that it was, basically the thing that kept Cartoon Network's lights on, in my opinion, was done by Dave Johnson and crew, right? And then after they could only refresh that for so many seasons, they brought us on. And by us, I mean the guys who worked on Teen Titans, right? So Glenn Murakami, his group of directors and designers, we all went from Warner Brothers to Cartoon Network. And I remember when they were revisiting or redesigning the new aliens that were coming out of the Watch. And I had gotten an opportunity to take a first pass at everything, right? And then they made everything, and by they, I mean the character designers went in and made things quote unquote animatable so that it could be turned, it could be consistent. When we gave it to the animation studios overseas, there would be a little consistency in the look to the show. But it was difficult. It was puzzling to me back then why I wasn't considered a character designer, right? Because I was gonna, on the screen, I was like a production designer, which I don't think in television animation that credit had ever been given to anybody before. So it was like, nobody knew what that meant, right? But whatever. Yeah. So I designed the first pass of, I think, the majority of the aliens, the first 10 aliens that came out of that watch. I did, and then they took it to a level of finish that made it production ready.
Yeah, I thought that was sick. Zay likes them too. There's Alien Force, wasn't it?
Alien Force, yeah.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Bancroft, should we look at where everyone's ended up?
Yeah, do it.
Okay, so Bancroft is Finnish goop man. And
this is hang on. This is where I started.
4 rows of hieroglyphics.
Yeah. Hang on, this is where I started.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where I ended. And that's not bad.
For 2 hours? That's not too shabby, man.
Not too shabby while doing a show.
You're getting better. You're getting faster at this each week.
Yeah, Eric, the first time we started doing this, it was bad. But I pre-warned people that, and I'd been reticent. People had, I was not getting anything done.
Oh.
Because I feel like, when I'm drawing in my head, there's like a whole audience inside my head kind of second guessing what I'm doing. So to sort of like work through that. And but yeah, it's getting better, in terms of being able to actually do stuff on stream. I'm pretty happy with how that came out. The whole thing about this piece, like you won't be able to see this, is the background, what's behind him.
What's behind him?
It's pretty cool. I think I want to keep that a secret.
You're just full of secrets and not giving anything away. You won't tell me what your and Camel's show is.
It's a polar bear full of coom.
No. It is a cool. It's a cool wall inspired by one of my trips to Paris.
Oh,
The catacombs. Cool. That's what it is.
Maybe.
All right. Eric, where do you know where you started and where you finished?
No.
Cool.
I'm sorry. It was somewhere over here before. Hold on, I'll turn off these silly layers. I got this far. I mean, it's somewhere in here, right?
Yeah,
that's what I remember seeing when you started. Yeah.
And where'd you
good stuff.
Show us the end piece.
Hold on. What I have so far, anyway. It looks like this. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, awesome. And that's going to be a trading card on Athena 2?
I think so. If I'm happy with it, which I'm not yet.
Yeah. Awesome. And Camel Moon.
So it started like this, and then now it's like that.
There you go.
And then I had some extra time.
A productive stream.
And I finished this one today too.
The gloop.
Rini asks, "Is that Procreate?" I assume she's asking Eric, and Eric does use Procreate.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
SDA says it's great watching work, Eric. I think that's probably perfect time to wrap it up, mate.
It is indeed. It is indeed. Thank you to everyone. Big extra special thank you to Eric CANETE for coming on and giving us some of that CANETE ASMR that only he can, and hanging out. Guys, keep your eyes on. Make sure you're following Eric, because he will be launching the part 2 of Athena. I mean, imminently, by the sounds of it, imminently. So it's Eric CANETE on Twitter. I don't know your Instagram. I think it's probably just Eric CANETE as well.
It's the same thing, yeah.
Have you been keeping up your YouTube?
No, I need to get back on it only because there should be some pretty decent lead-in before I go live, right?
Probably should be, yes.
Yeah.
Probably should be.
Bancroft launch from Micro.
I would be honored to do it again. That's up to Eric if he wants to do that. No pressure or anything. But yeah, make sure you, everyone make sure you're following Eric on the social medias. Camel, always a pleasure.
Bye-bye.
We will looking forward to seeing the release of House Salad, and everyone do make sure you are subscribed to Camel Moon's channel. In my opinion, probably the best show of the week.
Second best show of the week, Michael.
What's the best one?
Robin Bancroft on Thursday. Hello.
Well, each to their own. Each to their own. The biggest thank you all, and thank you, Rob, as well, for driving the ship tonight. Always a pleasure.
You're welcome.
And for your drawings as well.
Yeah.
You're getting better as well. Everyone's improving. Everyone's improving.
Yeah, Eric, you're very good. You should consider going pro.
I'll think about it.
The biggest thank you of all goes to the wonderful, amazing, sexiest, phenomenal chat in all of CG. I will see you in a couple of days, I think, for Late Night with Comicsgate. And until then, hope you have a great night. All right, see you, everyone. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
I want to say I'm really glad Michael Bancroft is here. I mean this. I feel like, look, I'm an admirer of yours. I like what you've done. You've carved out a path for yourself. I want to be better friends. That's what I want to say to you. Rob, the replicator, I didn't even know you were here. But welcome, my friend. You are an awesome artist, and we're happy to have you here. Wait, are you an artist? Do you write your own stuff?
He is a good artist.
Okay. Your books are great. Cheers, everyone. And
thank you, Ethan.